Guardians of the Galaxy number 5 shows the fallout of the Age of Ultron event. The angel Angela from the Spawn series has fallen through one of the tears in reality into the Marvel Universe. This warrior angel is disoriented and angry. She wants two things: answers and a head on the wall. Meanwhile, Tony Stark and the other Guardians of the Galaxy are still trying to recover from their previous adventures. Stark's Iron Man suit is in shambles, and Rocket Raccoon is trying to help him repair it. Things are also awkward between Tony and Gamora after they had sex in the previous issue. When they receive an alert about Angela heading towards Earth, they rush off to stop this new potential threat. Once in range, Gamora, the deadliest woman in the universe, engages in battle with Angela, the Hunter. The other major storyline in this issue follows Star-Lord Peter Quill. He first seeks out Mantis, the psychic and former Guardian. He shares with her what he experienced when reality was torn in Age of Ultron number 10. She is unable to help him, but does point him in the direction of someone who can: Thanos. Star-Lord finds the Mad Titan, and Thanos explains that reality has been torn because of Earth. He decides that the dangerous planet needs to be punished for their carelessness.
So seeing Thanos at the end of this issue is an obvious setup for the upcoming Infinity, right?
Yeah, he definitely said Earth needs to be punished, meaning he's probably going to go to Earth.
Like, it turns out Age of Ultron's outcome seems to be a perfect reason for all these alien forces to just bear down on Earth and really punish them.
I mean, I didn't really like Age of Ultron when it was occurring, but the aftermath has impressed me, both in this issue and Hunger, which we reviewed last week.
The interesting thing about this particular issue is that Thanos and Peter Quill seem to have like a talking relationship. He can just come up to him and just have a conversation.
It would be kind of awkward because the last time we've seen the two of them together was the end of Thanos Imperative, and they're in the Cancerverse, and it's Peter and Richard Rider basically suiciding to lock Thanos there. I've heard Bendis say he will explain how they got out, and I'm not sure if that means Richard Rider's going to be out as well.
We'll have to wait and see. For now, the most interesting thing I found from this issue was that the tears in reality that we saw in Age of Ultron are explained a little bit more, and they seem to only really affect certain people. Like, only certain people felt them.
Yeah, and I guess that's been kind of pervasive through all the Marvel comics. In Hunger last week, it was only Nova who experienced, the different flashes of himself. In this one, we see Peter Quill's got multiple flashes. In the ripple he experienced, he saw quite a bit. Richard Rider was there. His younger self was there. Mar-Vell was there. Perhaps the most interesting one, though, was him snuggling close to a young Jean Grey.
That'll be an interesting twist. Don't know if that's just an alternate reality or maybe that's something to come.
Yeah, and Bendis writes both All New X-Men and this, so
that'll be a very interesting crossover.
I don't know what to make of it, but it's definitely intriguing.
What I like is that it kind of marks these people who felt these ripples as the important figures in Marvel moving forward, at least from the immediate future. We saw in Age of Ultron 10, it was Wolverine, Peter Quill, Iron Man, Miles Morales, Ben Grimm, and Hank Pym that felt these visions.
I think for the most part it was those 6 experiencing it, because Wolverine obviously, since he was the central character, but the other 5 all have direct Age of Ultron fallout. Like Miles Morales is going to be experiencing the Hunger. I don't know if that's why they showed it, or if they're the 6 most important people in Marvel going forward.
Only time will tell. One of the other things that came from Age of Ultron is the appearance of Angela, and we finally see her in another comic.
She comes from Spawn, which most people already know. She actually died in Spawn 100 when she and Spawn went to go fight Malboja in Hell. And before that, she actually fought off all the armies of heaven, so they couldn't invade Earth.
So she's clearly very powerful, and as soon as she comes in, she's just instantly seeking retribution against whoever brought her to this strange new place.
I mean, I read Spawn as well, and I felt that was sort of in line with her character from that, but it'll be interesting to see how much of her, Spawn history carries over. Basically, the reason she's now in the Marvel Universe is because Neil Gaiman sued Todd McFarlane for the rights to her, and I don't think she could, just bring up in a Marvel comic, hey, I used to know this demon named Spawn.
Yeah. Maybe they'll explain it off with some sort of amnesia from traveling. But the fact that Neil Gaiman is going to be writing something to do with Angela soon is intriguing. But as of now, I'm not exactly sure what role she's going to play in anything.
I wasn't too excited about her after Age of Ultron. I thought it was sort of a gimmick. But in this, I actually kind of liked her. I like how her first fight is actually with Gamora. So she's definitely the most dangerous woman from Spawn. And she's now fighting Gamora, who's been labeled as the most dangerous woman in the universe.
Speaking of the most dangerous woman, the person who seems to be the target of her most recent fury is Iron Man.
Yeah, which is actually kind of funny. They had a sexual encounter in the last issue, and apparently it didn't go well.
I loved throughout the entire issue, Rocket is just constantly jabbing him about, why did you go through with that?
I also liked how Stark actually had the ego to compare himself to Captain Kirk. And he's like, I made a list when I was younger of things I wanted to do. And sleeping with the green alien woman was at the top.
For Guardians of the Galaxy number 5, what would you give it as a grade?
I'm going to give this issue a 4.5 out of 5. I wasn't initially excited about Angela's arrival into the Marvel Universe, but this issue has definitely changed my opinion. We also get to see a lot of potential with Thanos and the Cosmic storyline, and I just can't wait for Infinity now.
I'm going to give this a 4.5 as well. Like I said, I enjoy their banter, and I'm really liking Guardians. Plus, this issue touched on many of the key points that I feel will be important in the larger Marvel Universe.
Thanks for watching B3 Comics review of Guardians of the Galaxy number 5. As always, we have a viewer question for you.
We already gave our opinions on this in the video, but how do you feel about Angela's inclusion in the Marvel Universe?
Leave your answer in the comments below. Also check out our announcement video where we announce a new video series and seek some suggestions from you guys.
You can also go onto our Facebook or Twitter and vote twice. Thanks.